Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in today's video we are going to talk about Star Citizen Alpha 3.10 first, and we're going to talk about the delays about Star Citizen Alpha 3.10. I don't know if you guys watched the latest Star Citizen live with Todd Pappy. Todd Pappy did explain why Star Citizen is probably going to be over a month delayed, and that is because he did say that is because of the new targeting methodology, which definitely take more time than expected. And he did explain that he did wanted to make sure that this particular aspect of the patch gets released whenever it is ready and not released because of a deadline. They wanted to make it as perfect as possible, and that is really not a surprise given how important targeting is for anyone interested in combat. I kind of like the new targeting methodology. It is definitely more complicated than what it was, but at the same time, especially if you keep multiplayer in mind and turret gameplay, it definitely does make sense. And, you know, just like with everything, it's just going to take a little bit of while to get used to it. But I've done a little bit of combat, and after a couple of hours, it gets fine. So I kind of enjoy the new targeting methodology. And it's one of the reasons which, you know, when he did explain, at first I was a little bit angry, you know, because of the delay. I was like, man, you know, the only patch that I can think of, and you know, and the last time that we had patches that were released on time, I think it was probably 3.5, maybe 3.5, and everything else after was eventually delayed. There was 3.8 that was also on time, and that was pretty much it. And we all know how bad 3.8 was. So that we are getting a delay because they wanted to get things right, in my opinion, is positive. I just wished that they had told us this a little bit before. We're getting communication once again. We have to wait for several weeks until finally CIG communicates on what is going on, and I find that a little bit unfortunate. Speaking of Todd Pappy is going to be the guest of this week's Calling All Devs, and this week it's going to be a very exciting one for me because they are going to talk about Crusader, and especially they are going to talk about what it's going to take to complete the Stanton System and get Crusader into the game. And I suppose that there is soon going to be a list of questions that are going to be asked on Spectrum, because that's usually I could not find it. So if you guys know wherever there is currently right now a link on Spectrum where we can ask Todd Pappy questions, please tell me in the description down below. Otherwise, it means that it is going to come soon. And so whenever that list is coming up, I'm going to have a couple of questions prepared for Todd Pappy that I will be putting on Spectrum. And if not, then I hope that these questions are going to be answered eventually. So my first question is, you know, what is taking so long? I want to know what the blockers are. Is it because of the planetary gas tech, or just the regular gas tech? Is it because the servers can't handle it right now? Is it because of some technologies that we don't have? I want to know what's going on. Why it's taking so long? Now, the next thing that I'm really interested in is how is Crusader's gravity going to affect flight? Because we do know that right now each planetary body has its own special gravity, but Crusader is a gas giant. Gas giants are heavy. So is it going to be more difficult to leave atmospheres? Is it going to take a much longer time? How about when we land on Horizon itself? Are we going to have to do to pay extra attention? Same. What about players when we walk or run on Horizon? Is it going to be more difficult because of the gravity, or is Horizon going to have some kind of artificial gravity? I would like to know all of that as well. Speaking of Horizon, we also know that there will be a space well tour around Horizon. So I'm really wondering if there are any chances that Space Wells can make it into either Q1 or Q2 2021, because we know that this is the reason why Crusader is not in Star Citizen quote-unquote Alpha 3.12, which we know that it's going to be 4.0. So why is it delayed to Q1 and Q2 if it's not going to be delayed further down? Because, you know, we know that these things happen, right? So any chances that we get to see Space Wells when it makes it to Q1 or Q2 2021? This is also something I'm very interested in, because, I don't know, it seems like it's going to be fun to hunt them down in the clouds of Crusader. Also, Will there be, let me ask you a couple of more questions here. Right now, the placeholder for Crusader is maybe the ugliest thing that we have in the verse. I would like to know if there are any chances that we get better visuals before we get Crusader into the verse. I don't know if you guys agree, but every time we are going to, for example, from Hurston to Crusader, any other planet to Crusader, we get so close to Crusader, and it just looks so ugly and so outdated. Can we at least have I don't know, maybe in Q4 2020, maybe in Q4 this year, not necessarily Q3, but Q4, can we at least have a better visual of Crusader, something that is going to look like the Crusader that we're gonna have in Star Citizen Alpha, whatever, you know, Q1 or Q2 2020, please, because it just looks ugly, and especially for new players, when new players are getting into the verse and they see that, they're like, yeah, well, what is this, you know? Especially compared to how all of the other planets look in the verse. There's really a big difference between that placeholder and anything else. I think that this really needs to go as soon as possible. Next, we are going also to talk about the relationship between Crusader's delay and the Pyro system at the same time. And first, I want to know if, for example, Horizon's delay is affecting the development of Rune Station. We know that there is supposedly a staggered development. There's one team taking care of a quarter, and another quarter is being done separately by another team. This is done in theory. Is this really the case? I am not so sure, given all the delays that we are having to deal with. But nevertheless, this is also something that I would like to know as well. Is this the reason why Pyro, according to the rumors, Pyro is going to be released in 2 phases, with the first 4 planets and some moons being released first, and then Pyro 5, Pyro 6, and Rune Station being released in a second patch? Is it because of Horizon's delays, and Horizon is delaying the creation of Rune Station? This is also something that I would like Todd Pappy to be talking about. I don't think he'll be talking about it, because of course it is probably going to be this year's Star Citizen CitizenCon surprise, so that's why I doubt he'll be talking about it. But if he did, if he acknowledges that, that would be awesome. Also, another question regarding Pyro here. We do know that Pyro 5 is a gas planet as well, and I'm wondering if there will be outposts on Pyro 5 that will utilize the same technology used as Crusader. Why? Because Crusader is such a big planet. I can't imagine that Horizon is going to be the only point of interest around Crusader. I suppose that there's probably going to be some gas mining operations, a bit like Cloud City, you know. I can imagine that there's probably going to be some gas mining operations pretty much all over the planet, where people will be able to quantum travel to and buy some astatine and other kind of gases that will be available over there. I am wondering if this is also those technologies, those new outposts that will be brought supposedly in Star Citizen when Crusader will be online, will also be used in Pyro 5, because, you know, Pyro is kind of like, you know, going to be we know it's a lawless system, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be very populated. So if at least there could be some kind of mining operations, even, you know, low scale outposts, you know, even abandoned outposts on Pyro 5, where players will be able to go at least do something in that gas giant too, you know, so that we can have something to do in the gas giant of the Stanton System, and we can also have something to do in the gas giant of the Pyro system. I think that this could be awesome as well. So this is also a question that I will be asking if we'll be given the opportunity to ask questions. That's all for this video, guys. If you have any other questions that you would like to be asked to Todd Pappy, please tell me in the chat down below. I will be trying to ask as many questions as possible. I will try to get them upvoted as much as possible, so that we can get our questions answered for this upcoming Calling All Dabs with Todd Pappy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe button if you like this kind of content. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers, which means that our second subscriber giveaway is almost unlocked, guys. Let's do this, and I'll see you guys next time for more Star Citizen content. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.
impact warning. Port impact warning. Landing complete. Launch complete. Front impact warning. Landing